Hey guys, hi. Hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome. See, there are a bunch of folks who are already in the stream. Yeah, sorry for the delay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, is my mic all right? Is Are you guys able to see me and everything? Yeah, sorry for being late. Thought of starting the stream, 5 minutes ago at 3:55, but apparently uh, my computer was choking on. Yeah, I was. Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. Hi, Akash, Sharman, Indra, Veer, Ash. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome again. Welcome everyone. And yeah, so yeah, today's stream is going to be we'll be talking about technical analysis. I've been wanting to do this, talk about this topic, and share some of um, some learnings about technical analysis with you guys. But yeah, before that, hi Salman. Hi guys, yeah, thank you for whoever is tuning in. Please post a hi in the chat so that I know whoever um, is tuned in. But yeah, probably let's give another minute or two for folks who are trying to still tune in, and then we'll get started. But before that, um, I just wanted to share a crazy news with all of you, uh, and that is I made my first investment in metaverse real estate yesterday. So I don't know. It all happened, all of a sudden. I just spent the whole day looking for a piece of land in a metaverse game, and then I happened to, find something that fits my needs, and then I made my first investment yesterday. Although I wanted to, you know, do that live, just show you guys live on how investing into an NFT or a metaverse piece of land looks like. But yeah, it was, it was, as I said, it was all of a sudden, and I couldn't contain the excitement as well. That's my first investment that I made on a piece of land, on a virtual piece of land, right? So I'm against making real estate investments in real world. That's it's quite contradictory, but not like ever, but I'm still in my 20s, and then I hate the idea of getting into real estate and investing on physical land unless you at least um, reach 30 or sometime at that point in life. Yeah, how much money do you make in the crypto space? Crypto space, I don't make any money in the crypto space. I don't have any like active income going on in the crypto space. So all I do is I just work in the blockchain space. I just my tech job and then everything. But I just invest in crypto for long-term returns, right? So I just do long-term investments. I've started investing in crypto for the last 1 year, 1.5 year now, and then before that I used to invest a lot in stocks. But that's how I just transitioned to crypto, close to 2 years now in crypto. And then, yeah, I just make investments for long-term benefit. So similarly, with the same ideology, I invested in a piece of land in this metaverse called the Sandbox. Just quickly share that with you guys as well. But yeah, this is the highest riskiest investment that I've made, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I'm still in the rush of having made that investment yesterday, and then yeah, it's all um, it's a sense of ownership and that exclusivity of that piece of asset that gives you that excitement and happiness. Okay, side questions, but what headphone are those? Yeah, this is actually not a great headphone. I had a gaming headphone before this, which was Corsair HS50 Pro, which I used to use for all my gaming and everything. But this is called Quotient Each 2000 G2000. That's the model if you're looking for that. This costed me around, I don't know, 1,500 rupees, I guess. But this does the job. I just wanted a pair of headphones that just gives me good sounds when I play games and your in-game sounds and all that, because that's pretty important when you're playing games. But yeah, besides that, I just make do with this. So I don't want to be spending like 5,000 or 10,000 rupees or on headphones where I could just invest that money in crypto or stocks, right? Yeah, looks cool though. Thanks. Still invested. What is still invested, Salman? I did not get your question. Razak says, "Can we start the session, please? I have classes at 5." But yeah, sorry to keep you waiting, Razak. But yeah, we'll get started shortly. But this is going to be like a basic introduction to technical analysis and chart trading topics. But we'll have definitely more and more things coming on into the same topic later on. But yeah, before that, I just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction, because this is the first stream on my channel where I talk about technical analysis, and I just wanted to keep it very basic and very light to all of you, and just give you guys, help you guys have a base context set up for what's coming next, in like next week or the week after that. So we also plan to make exclusive streams where you can join streams using your learn tokens. Okay, then see, I'm not a beginner. Yeah, if you're not a beginner, then this session is particularly is not for you, because this is the first stream that we're doing on technical analysis, and then now we'll be talking about just the basic and entry level stuff. So if in case you guys are looking at more advanced stuff and more stuff in depth, then probably follow with the sessions that come up later on, probably next week and the weeks after that. But yeah, this first session that we're talking about technical analysis, it's going to be exclusively, we'll be talking about the basics and like beginner level stuff. You can see I'm keep up the good job, obviously, man. Thanks, Razak. Thank you for checking out the stream. I hope you can get a chance to join the future streams where we also talk about some of the technical analysis stuff in depth. So yeah, if you're already know the basics, and if you're already into technical analysis, then yeah, I would suggest you can join the streams later on in the coming weeks. I'm in the land investment on Metaverse. Yeah, so as I said, I just made that investment yesterday, but let me just quickly show that to you guys. Let me share my screen. Yeah, before we start the technical analysis thing, I'm just psyched to share this with one of you. So it's in this Metaverse game called Sandbox. Some of you guys might have already heard about that. So it's in this game called Sandbox. Let me just quickly go and okay. Let's see. In this Metaverse game, so this recently launched their alpha testing season 3. So they've already covered 2 seasons, and okay. Let me just quickly log in there and okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to log in through my email ID and password. Usually, I don't log into these Web3 applications using email and password, but since it's a game, I have my email and password linked to my account. So yeah, that's about that. So just click on land here and then click on try the new map. The new map is sort of very easy, but I don't know. I don't know if this takes up a lot of resource, guys. By the way, if you guys are thinking, this takes up huge amount of your CPU and your RAM on your computer. Yeah, once you log in, any red dots that you see, you just click on this. This red square is the land that you own. Just bought this piece of land. And it says, JS97. That's my username. So this is the piece of land that I bought. This red dot, and then yeah. So basically, if you just click on my lens, and it's going to apply a filter for you. So yeah, it's the piece of land that I have, and yeah, pretty much just one block of land. It's really really expensive when you talk about land that's surrounding the center. So center is called the Genesis piece of land. Then if you just zoom out, this is the map of the Sandbox metaverse. By the way, if you guys are wondering what this is, it's like not making sense. Just looking at this grid and just boxes of information. Then yeah. So yeah, this is the Genesis plot, which means that this is the first set of land that was formed, right? So this is in the center of the map. So there's about one block of land just near the center. It's probably like 4 or 5 blocks away from the center. So it costed me a couple of ether, not much, but yeah, but not bad for your first investment. And then so I don't have any plan to sell it later on. So if you buy land in metaverse applications like this, there's a huge set of possibilities that you can make money off. You can later on flip it to someone who is willing to buy it at a higher price later on, and when the whole map is going to get filled, it's a limited set of, or it's limited number of land parcels. Like it's like close to like 160,000 land parcels. And if you see, there are a lot of people, a lot of companies have invested in their own land or own estate. So it's like, so one piece is called a land, and then a bunch of land pieces together is called an estate in this game. And then there's Game 5 Ventures, there's Warner Brothers Music Group. There's also a game company called Old Skull Games. I'm assuming it's a game company, not really sure. There's Walking Dead, which has invested. And there's Atari, which is, again, one of the biggest gaming companies. So Atari, and then so again, Binance, which is in the bottom left corner of this map. And then they have bought a significant chunk of this land. It's probably, this is a 24 into 24 blocks land. So you can just imagine how big that could be. And then there's also Ubisoft. People who are into games and video games industry, you cannot not know what Ubisoft is. Ubisoft is one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, game development companies. So Ubisoft has invested there. Yeah, there's Shaun the Sheep, and then there's again, I think this belongs to Binance as well. There's also again CoinMarketCap, which has invested in this piece of land. It's 24 into 24 again. Sun Hong Kai and Company. So there are a lot of different companies. South China Morning Post, and a lot of different companies have invested in owning a piece of land, right? So so these people, yeah, Shaun the Sheep, yeah. So these people, they plan to build experiences for audiences, for the players of this game. They also Axie Infinity. We talked about Axie Infinity in one of our metaverse-based sessions. So Axie Infinity, and then a lot of different things. It's really exciting just to look at the map and then see who owns what, and then yeah. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of companies have invested. So as I said, there's also these companies, these businesses plan to build experiences for the users or the players of this metaverse. Also, there are a lot of use cases on owning the land. You can use it for advertising. You can rent it out to other people who want to build experiences. There are a lot of different tools that the Sandbox game offers. They give you a game maker tool, which you can see like here, Sandbox Game Maker. You can use that tool and build your own game and just put it on your land if you want a piece of land, or you can just rent out other people's land and put it on there, right? So, and then, you can also charge people to play your game, and then the part of that revenue goes to the landowner. If I'm a landowner, I can rent it out to someone who is, trying to build a gaming experience, and then, just get a cut of their profit or something. So a lot of different things. And also you can rent it out to, have billboards on your land where people can see different advertisements and all those things. So if you see, this is the center, this is Genesis Hub, and also, just things around that Genesis Hub is going to be really, of high traffic in nature, right? So there's also Gemini, which is again a cryptocurrency exchange. I believe, I'm not sure if it's a cryptocurrency exchange or a wallet software company, but yeah, Gemini is quite popular in the crypto world. So there's something called Foke. I don't know what this is, but probably like Kong's Island. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's also a bunch of different land parcels being booked by, Board API Club and a lot of different Web3 companies. But yeah, you get the idea. Owning pieces of land in in a metaverse, which is this project looks very promising. So that's the reason I was following this project for quite some time, and then they launched their alpha season 3. I couldn't get in any airdrop from the primary market sale that they ran in the land sale. Also, I was not aware during the initial land sales, so I just went and bought it in in the secondary market on OpenSea as an NFT, right? So yeah, it's pretty much there. But yeah, we are 15 minutes into the session, and I just wanted to quickly actually share that with you guys, because I just made my first investment, and just it's really psyching me out. So I'm just totally excited to because I play the game, I play the sandbox game, and I know what it's going to be like. Probably like 5 years from now. I don't know how it's going to be like 10 years or 15 years from now. I don't know what Meta is going to look like, but definitely I know what it's going to look like in 5 years from now, right? But yeah, we'll get started we'll talk about technical analysis. Hi Ashwin, hi Jay, let's go. Yeah, we'll talk about technical analysis. Probably I believe that so many people, so many of you were waiting for learning how to read charts and how to do technical analysis. But although I just wanted to let you know that this is going to be a basic level technical analysis. So if you already know the basics of technical analysis, what are candlestick charts and what are the different ways of reading your charts, then I would highly suggest you can go ahead and join our future streams where we talk about in-depth and complicated stuff that's going around technical analysis and chart reading. But this stream, today's session, is exclusively going to be the basics and entry-level stuff of technical analysis. But yeah, first things first, I don't have a theoretical roadmap of what I need to cover. So if there is anything that you guys want me to talk about, just let me know in the chat. But yeah, before that, okay, let me just quickly say, okay, let me just quickly say that, yeah, as I said, I'm not, there's no textbook that I'm following. It's not going to be very structured and, course-like. But if you guys have any doubts or any topics that you want me to discuss or talk about, probably share some of the knowledge that you might have, then feel free to post that on the chat, and I'll be just covering the basics. And as I said, we'll also be having some private streams where you can use the learn tokens that you accrued watching my streams, and then probably get some of this get some access to some of these private streams. But before that, let me just quickly go ahead and remove drawings, and let me just close this out. So this is all these moving averages and all these numbers and these lines that you see on the chart. This is definitely going to come up later on. It's probably when we talk about more in-depth stuff about what are these lines and how you can use these lines and all these factors to make your decisions and look at what you can predict from the price movements and all that. But let's just keep it simple in this stream. If you guys have any doubts at any point in time, post in the chat, and then I'll be happy to pick that question up. If I'm not able to, pick some of your questions, probably I'll try to answer them in the next stream. But before that, let's just talk about what you are seeing on the screen. Any first thing is why you would look at a chart of something, right? So you'd look at a chart of any asset just to see how the price has done, right? Probably in the past, that's historically, probably in the past 1 day, past 1 month, or past 1 year, past 1 decade. So any time frame. So you just look at charts to determine, what the price has been like, and try to predict what the price might do later on. So before that, we just have to establish and be clear as to why you would go and try looking at this price history of any asset, right? So the obvious reason is to take advantage of it. So if you know that from here on it's going to go up, then you can probably make a trade and then make some money or profit from whatever you want to do with knowing the price, right? So there's a question: is this candlestick? Yes, it is a candlestick chart. And if I come here and then click on this, by the way, this is Trading View. There's a lot of different platforms which offer a lot of different inbuilt charting tools. Like if you're looking to trade on trade stocks on Zerodha, they have their own platform called Kite, where you can trade stocks and look at charts. So they have already integrated Trading View and Chart IQ. So if you go there, you'll also have that. And if you look at platforms like Binance, you also have access to, so, not just that, but if you look at CoinMarketCap as well, and you just open that, cryptocurrencies page, you just come here and you say candle chart. The chart that you see here, this is coming from the Trading View platform, right? So they just integrate whatever Trading View offers. And then most of the platforms, most of the trading platforms, most of the charting platforms will definitely give you something that's already there on TradingView. So you need not just go and look at TradingView always. If you don't have an account in TradingView, that's totally fine. You can just go to Binance or Coinbase or CoinMarketCap, if you're just looking at charts. So that's totally fine. Even this this chart that you see here still coming from TradingView because it says TradingView right here. Go to original, it's going to plot its own chart or something, and go to depth. I don't know, this is a TradingView. As I said, most of the platforms, they just make use of TradingView. So I'm just going to stick to TradingView. And by the way, I have an account on TradingView, and then I have the premium plan that TradingView offers. So I just use most of the time. So I just keep using TradingView. So Veer has a question: where do we find all current affairs? Is there a way to determine if the stock will go up or down? Yeah, but by the way, this is a pretty common question that I get. Now, where do you get all this news, right? So, there's actually two things that you need to keep in mind. So one thing is, if you're looking at news, or if you're looking at market sentiment, so what's the word about a company or an asset in the market, and then try to take quick advantage of that. Market sentiment or news, it's definitely not going to work because 90% of the times you're going to end up losing that trade. Because as I said, even if you look at the example, in this case, the Ethereum merge, Ethereum 2.0 merge, if you see that after the merge was successfully completed, the price dropped down. Because if you thought that, because most people, looking at the merge, if they are waiting for the merge, they would think that, merge is a good thing that's happening to Ethereum. And as a result of that, the asset should, go up in price, right? But because that's not the case. Whereas whatever should have happened has already happened in the past, in the recent past, which is that the price rose up, and the fact that Ethereum 2.0 merge is going to take place in the second or third week of September was already factored into the price, which means that the price already reflected what was in the news, right? So I would stay away from trading assets or trying to take advantages of current affairs or whatever is going on in the news for any particular asset, be it stocks or cryptocurrencies, whatever. It's very easy to indulge in trading stocks based on news, because one day you just see today evening or one night you just see that after the market has closed, you just hear some bad news or some really good news about a company, you think that next day you can take advantage of that news and then trade towards the bias of the market sentiment, right? So that's not going to work out because you will end up just gambling. So that's the reason I advise don't trade anything on the news. So trade something that's not in the news, right? So you can always trade the same way. So when you're trying to make your trading strategy, when you're trying to make your chart trading strategy or whatever, you need to have a consistent way. So let's say you have you're trying to trade a company's stock based on some news today, and next day if you're trying to look for some other company, if you don't find any company in the news, then it's going to be a no trade day for you. So that shouldn't be the case. Can you use it for free, TradingView? Yes, definitely you can use it for free. TradingView is free, and then you can definitely look at charts of all the assets that are there. So yeah, TradingView you can definitely use. Just go to tradingview.com, click on charts, and it's going to take you right to the charting platform. Here you can come. Once you have this screen, you can just type whatever you want. Just start typing, the name of the asset, and just select that from the list, and then yeah, good to go. So yeah, you can use it for free. How do people trade? I thought that was the way. Yeah, a lot of people I know and a lot of people that I've personally met trade based on news because they just try to take advantage of the news and then just make a quick trade either in the positive or negative direction, and then try to just make a quick buck on the side. But it's not going to work for you consistently and in the long term, right? Because that's trading based on news is not a strategy. It's just just probably like one-off event that happens to a company or something. So it's not really a consistent strategy that you can follow. So if you want to be consistent and profitable in the long term, you definitely need to have a trading strategy, and this strategy has to be it has to be a fixed set of rules that you follow for your trades, right? So yeah, with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know that there's no place where you can find all. There's a lot of places where you can find news, right? So now, CoinMarketCap, if you just come to CoinMarketCap and then go to the homepage, find a lot of news about all the happenings and everything that's going on in the crypto market, right? So there's price estimates, spotlight, a lot of different things. You can say trending. Now, what's trending? So if you see that Ethereum is trending, then doesn't mean that you can just go and trade it or whatever. So anything that's trending in the news, just stay away from it because it's really dangerous. And as I said, with the ETH 2.0 merge, the price already factored in the fact that the merge is going to happen in the second week of September. So people have already valued it what it has to be right now, and that's the way it is. So yeah, so you can use TradingView for free. Just come down here, open TradingView. I'll just show you guys from the first. Just go to tradingview.com, and then you have, if you want, you can sign in. There's a menu called products. Then there's a submenu chart. Just click on chart, and it's going to bring you, probably if you have not signed in or if you don't have any history that you have used this app, it's probably going to take you to Apple, the Apple chart, right? But yeah, anything, any chart that you want to open, just come here and then start browsing things. So as I said, you just don't need to always use TradingView. If you're looking at some cryptocurrency based thing, if you're a Binance user, you can just go to Binance. You'll have the candlestick chart there itself. So probably this is a normal bar chart. You just click on this icon, and then it's a line chart. Just gives you the closing prices plotted on a line chart. Then there are all kinds of different candlestick charts and all area charts, high, low, hollow candles, bars. So candlestick is the most commonly used chart to read or to conduct technical analysis. Can you show us Polygon, like an analysis? Yeah, definitely we can do Polygon. If you're talking about this Polygon Matic token, we can do whatever assets you want. So probably switch to Polygon, And then this is daily chart. So here in the trading view terminal, you see that these time frames starts with 3M, just 3 minutes, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, day. Before that, I'll just show you guys how this chart is found. So if you just go to line chart, you guys know that whatever the closing or the price at the end of the day is going to be plotted at this point. So right now, if you just come back to the recent price, yesterday's price, if you just look at this point that's there, yesterday's price was the point that's made here, 0.7655, right? So 0.7655 was the price at the end of yesterday, right? So it means probably like 12 in the midnight, right? And then before that, the day before that, it was somewhere around here, 0.7533. You can look at the price right here, the exact price, if you're not able to make out using your cursor. But yeah, 0.7533, and the day before the 0.8279. I mean, by the way, this is in dollars, right? So this is plotting the closing price. The closing price is basically means the price at the end of the day, right? So since cryptocurrency markets are 24/7 markets, you just take the price at the end of the day, which is probably like, I don't know, 11:59 p.m., 59 seconds after that. But if you look at a stock market thing, it's going to completely change. So let me just load another layout, scan. Yeah, let me load something else. Let me say swing crates. Let me go to persistent systems. So this is okay. Probably just let's go to Access Bank, right? So I'll go to remove all drawings, and then I'll say so this is daily chart again. Reset. So let's say you're looking at a stock, right? So stock market begins at 9:15 in the morning and then closes at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So that's the reason. So whatever the price that you're seeing, the closing price, if you just switch to line chart, closing price today is at 806.55. But the closing price of yesterday, if you just keep your eye on this number, closing price yesterday was at 812.75 rupees, right? 812 rupees. 75 paise, and the day before that is 798. Day before that closed at 789. So these are all the closing price of different trading sessions. Similarly, if you just switch to candle charts, so in the line chart or in any other simpler charts, you just see the closing prices of every session. In this case, every day, probably like every trading session is 9:15, 3:30. What is the closing price of yesterday, 3:30, and the day before yesterday, 3:30, and all that. But in candlestick chart, you can get the same time frames data, but in much more detail, right? So if you just see one candlestick chart, one candlestick, because you just call it candlestick because it's in the shape of a candle. So now it has a body, which is probably like the wax part of the candle, and then it has a line on top of either on top or bottom, which is probably the wick of the candle, right? Where you light the candle. So, but again, it's not just candle body and then wick on top. The wick can either be on top or bottom. So what it basically says is, let's say if it's a green candle, it means that price has started at the bottom and then gone up, right? So in this case, if you just hover on this candle, if you just look at these parameters or values that are displayed there, now just keep the cursor here. You can see that the parameters right here, you can see it says O 761.75, it says H 782.20, and it has a bunch of different values, right? So what it basically means is O is open price, which means that after, so let's say if it's a daily chart, we're talking about, let's say this day after it ended, the next day or the next trading session, what was the price at which the trading started or the trading opened, right? So that's open price. At what point of price it opened the next day. So it's the opening price, which is O, and then H is high. High is what was the highest point that this, in this trading session, the price reached, the price of the stock or price of this cryptocurrency, whatever. What is the highest point it reached, right? So that's H. And if you look at this for just I've just picked this candle because it's a pretty good, significantly bigger candle. So if you just look at the H right here, it's 782 rupees 20 paise, which is at this point, the top end of the week, right? And then similarly, L is the lowest point, which you can see at the lowest point of the week, and probably somewhere around 757.10. And then C is the closing price. So it started at 761.75, and then it went all the way till 782.20, which was the highest. And the lowest it went in that trading session was 757.10. But when the trading ended, probably like end of the day or end of the trading session, in this case in the Indian stock market, it's 3:30 p.m. In the cryptocurrency markets, it's 24/7. It's like UTC 12 in the midnight. When the trading ended for that session, it's denoted by C, which is the closing price, right? The closing price, if you see, it's 779.75. So it started from here and then went all the way. The highest was this, the lowest was this. Keeps fluctuating between these two price points, the highest and the lowest, and then it's closed at this point. So that's the reason it's denoted by a green candle, which means that it started down or below, and then it ended up higher than the opening price. So it opened at this price, it ended up higher than the open price. In that case, the candle is going to be green. And if you look at a candle like this, which is red, so now you can imagine that it's going to be the opposite of what happened in a green candle. It started on top, started at a higher price, and when the trading session ended, it ended up lower than the opening price. So in this case, if you see, if you look at the parameters on the top left, it says opening is at 772. Highest point it went was 772 and 65 paise, just slightly higher than the opening price. And then lowest point was 750. So at this point, 750 and 50 paise, 750 and 25 paise, and then closed at this point, which is 757 and 950 paise. So that's the difference between, that's how you read a candlestick. Your candlestick tells you four things. What is the opening price? What is the highest price that the price touched in that session or in that time frame? In this time frame, one candlestick. If you look at the daily chart, it means that one candle represents the price open, high, low, close parameters of one day. If you look at 1 hour, it's going to tell you the price movement of 1 hour. One stick is going to tell you the last hour. Probably let's just take this one, right? If you look at the bottom, it says 20th September 2022, 11, which means that this candlestick represents the data or the price movement from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. right? So that's that 1 hour. So similarly, just different time frames. So hope you guys know what a candlestick looks like and what are these things and what's OHLC, open, high, low, close, and how to read a candlestick. By the way, if any of you guys have any doubts on understanding what a candlestick is, what it looks like, and what are these values, feel free to post your questions in the chat. Someone has a question: are you a stock trader or crypto? I trade both. So I was a stock trader full time. I mean, not full time, but most of the trades that I do was in stocks. Probably 1 year ago, one and a half, 2 years ago, but now I trade both. But most of the times it's crypto because it's I have a busy schedule, and then it's easy for me to get into crypto trades because crypto markets is 24/7. But I also trade stocks sometimes, which is like limited to that 6.5 hour session that the Indian markets are open on. So yeah, for that reason, but technical analysis is whatever you learn, the techniques that you use to read charts is the same across all financial instruments, all asset classes, right? So be it stocks, be it cryptocurrencies, be it commodities like gold, be it Forex or anything, technical analysis is always the same. Once you learn how to read charts, it's always the same. Only the psychology or the risk and the volatility and everything can differ from each asset class, but the techniques of technical analysis remain the same across. Can you tell me more about how to identify candlestick patterns? Like, is there a chart or something we can use for reference? Yeah, there's definitely a chart or like a set of patterns that you can use for reference, but I don't really follow any reference when it comes to reading chart patterns. But in the initial stages, since you're new to learning candlestick chart and chart patterns, it's definitely handy to keep some of this, guides or things. I mean, by the way, so if you just go and type candlestick chart pattern cheat sheet or something, and just go to images, you get this all different bunch of charts, right? So you can just open one of these, and then just go there, and just you can just keep any of this chart cheat sheet as a reference. So it says candlestick patterns cheat sheet for crypto markets. By the way, it doesn't have to be always crypto, but they've also posted euro US dollar for a forex currency. But if you see, this is all the bullish signs and bearish signs and neutral signs. There are a lot of different names that are given to these chart patterns. If you see a candlestick like this, something. If you just look at this thing, this candlestick right here, you call it hammer because if you look at it, it looks like a hammer. So due to a lot of different reasons, a lot of different patterns have a lot of different names. So you can just, but yeah, following probably in the initial stages you might need it, but I don't know. There are a lot of different chart patterns. By the way, you can it doesn't make any sense if you want to learn as many different techniques as possible when it comes to trading and then technical analysis. So the how simple or how simpler you keep your chart analysis and your technical analysis techniques and strategies, it's easy to make decisions, right? Because if you learn a lot of different, if you learn 100 different techniques, if you look at the chart and then the pattern, if you feel like it's forming 10 or 20 different patterns, you wouldn't really know what to do next, right? It's difficult to make decisions. So that reason, just learn a major few and then try to make decisions. And if you just follow your trading strategies consistently, it's going to definitely help you stick to a plan and then sorts of things. Ishan, hey, just tuned in. Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. Ishan, welcome to the stream. We're just talking about technical analysis. And by the way, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you guys haven't followed me on Creator, make sure you follow me on Creator. By the way, and also I have my LinkedIn account, which I'll just on the chat. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. By the way, next week, I'm planning to start the Discord community or the Discord channel that I was talking about. It's going to be an exclusive server for the followers. And so, as I said, you can keep posting questions. You can keep posting discussions, keep interacting with other members of the channel, other followers of the channel, and people who are interested in learning all this, everything about cryptocurrencies, investments, trading, technical analysis, and all decentralized finance, blockchain, and all those things. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, and then feel free to DM me on LinkedIn. Feel free to send a connection request. And in the next week, we'll be launching the Discord server where you can always stay connected. With that being said, see a lot of folks in the chat who haven't posted any messages on the chat. But yeah, if you guys have any doubts or you guys want to talk anything about anything, it need not be just technical analysis. If you guys have if you guys feel that I'm missing something when I'm talking about how to read candlestick charts and all that, but yeah, feel free to post your questions on the chat. But yeah, with that being said, as that sounds interesting, GG will be looking forward to the Discord. Yeah, I think Ishan, I have to say this, but you're the first guy who has posted GG so far on this channel. So yeah, I think yeah. So more reputation points to you for that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making that Discord server as well. So it's just a nice way to stay connected or interacting, keeping the interaction up always. I'm fairly new to this field, would love to learn more basic points from you. Yeah, by the way, I can't stress this enough, but the more time you spend in the basics, will definitely help you in whenever you get stuck anywhere, right? Let's say you're trading live, you're trying to trade, look at some charts and then try to make some decisions. The more well-versed you are in basics, it's easy to make decisions. It's easy to get rid of confusions and all that, right? So because I see a lot of people who are excited to learn the advanced stuff, learn the complicated stuff, But later on when it comes to using it, they don't want to use the complicated stuff, right? So this is one easier parts of it. So if in order to make the complicated and advanced stuff easy for you, your foundation and the fundamentals need to be strong. So that for that, so I'm still I still use the basic and the most basic of techniques when I trade. I just don't do all kinds of, if you just go to indicators here, and if you just say technicals, just select indicators, strategies, volume profile, candlestick patterns, all kinds of patterns. I don't know. I have no idea about most of the things here. Not even 5% of it, right? I just use the basic and the simplest of the tools, simplest of the metrics, and simplest of the indicators, and then try to make my decisions. But the most important thing here is to stick to a set of rules that you have. But in order to make those rules and understand how you can form your own strategy, we'll be doing that as and when we talk about more things about technical analysis, more things about trading and your trading psychology, the mindset that you require, and the strategy that you need to follow, consistency and all that. I think this is going to be a good base that we are building in order to talk about all those stuff later on. But I just wanted to keep this session exclusively for people who are trying to learn the basics of technical analysis and chart reading. So as I said, we just talked about what a candlestick looks like. So a chart that's plotted using all these candlesticks is nothing but a candlestick chart. And the only thing you need to remember is whenever you're doing technical analysis, you always look at candlestick chart, right? But on the other side, whenever you're, let's say, when you're doing fundamental analysis, you don't really need this candlestick chart. So let's say you're looking at Nifty, or probably let's go to stocks, and let's say you're looking at the Reliance stock chart. And if you're looking at Reliance for long-term investment, and if you're looking at just to get a fundamental overview of how the price has been. By the way, you can also use this website called Screener.in, which is again one of the best websites to get all this information about companies. If you're trying to do fundamental analysis, it gives you these charts, it gives you the analysis, it gives you peer comparison. What are the other companies which are similar to this company in the market? It gives you quarters data based on quarters. It gives you all the consolidated figures in terms of profit, loss, operating income, operating profit, other income, interest, and tax and profit before tax and all that. It also gives you the profit and loss statements. It gives you the balance sheet of the company, which is just something that's very important if you're looking at fundamentally how strong a company is, and if you're looking at long-term investments. So Screener.in, probably if you haven't heard of it, just you can bookmark this. It's also something called Ticker Tape, which is fairly new and being used by a lot of people now. But both the things do the same job. So Screener is a pretty old platform. You can use Screener. By the way, what I was actually trying to say is that if you come down to Screener and then see, let's say, the Reliance Industries chart, if you say 5 years, just click on 5 years. You just want to see how the price has done for the last 5 years. Starting October 2017 to October 2022, 5-year time period, how the price has been. Started with somewhere around this 800 rupees, and then now it's probably like 2,500 rupees, probably like 300 times whatever it started 5 years ago, right? You can look at 10 years, started 405 rupees. You can look at max, started 100 rupees back in 2005. So all these different things. So if you're looking at fundamental analysis, if you're looking to make investments for long term, you don't really need to look at candlestick charts, right? Candlestick charts doesn't make sense unless and until you want to make some analysis for short term, for the recent price history, right? But if you're looking at long term investments, you just come down here, probably just go to TradingView and just switch to a line chart, and then switch to probably like a monthly view, and then just look at how the price has performed overall. But yeah, so that's the point that I wanted to just convey. And then you just use candlestick charts only when you are trying to do technical analysis and take advantage of trades for the short term, right? Whether you're trying to invest your money for 1 month, 2 months, all these short term periods, probably like 6 months, and just wait for the price to go up 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, and then get out and book profits. If you're looking at doing analysis for that reason, look at candlestick charts. If not, you don't need candlestick charts, right? So yeah, with that being said, we talked about, I was also using this layout. Whether you can save a bunch of different layouts if you're using the premium version of TradingView. If it's a plan that you've bought, but if it's a free plan, you can just have one layout. You can try to browse as many charts as you want. But yeah, we were just taking a look at, as an example, the chart of Axis Bank. But so that's candlesticks for you. So do you guys have any questions, any clarity that you need? If you guys need more clarity on what a candlestick is, we'll talk about it more. If not, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the price movement, right? So if I just look at monthly chart, or probably let's not monthly is too much. Let's look at a weekly chart, right? Or instead of looking at this bank, let's look at the weekly chart of let's look at the weekly chart of Nifty 50, which is the the index, the stock market, one of the there are only two major indexes, but this is one of the two major indexes of the Indian stock market. Nifty 50 just has the consolidated figure of the top 50 companies of India. And it's a top 50, it's top 50 in terms of market capitalization. And we'll talk about market cap and all those things later on, but just to give you a rough idea of what market capitalization is the number of shares that are available in the public market into the share price of one share, right? In this case, if you just look at Axis Bank, it's a share costs 806 rupees, say roughly 800 rupees. And if you say there are the number of shares owned by the public, and if you just multiply that with 806, it gives you the total market capitalization of that stock. So yeah, let's just go back to Nifty and then just take a look at stock market direction. So if you just look at the chart and just talk about how the chart looks like, how the stock market has been, it's going to give you a lot more reason to invest in stock market as opposed to people who might be already investing in like fixed income streams like fixed deposits or gold and real estate and all that. But we'll talk about that as well. Sean says, joined late, still everything looks clear. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ishan. And so I just wanted to show you guys the movement of price. So we talked about what one candlestick is, but the next thing that we want to talk about is how this price moves, right? So price moves in two ways, technically. Whenever a price, whenever a price starts at say 10,000 rupees, from there it has to go up or down. So there are a lot of reasons why it goes up and down, but if you look at any chart, you can make out that price can either move only up or down. So there's also again a third direction the price moves, which is sideways. Let's find some place where the price has not gone anywhere. So if you just say that this is this area, right? Oops, it's too much. Yeah, if you see this area, it's probably you can define a range where the price has moved, right? And just rectangle, it's right here. If you just look at this range, see that price has stayed between somewhere around 8,200 to 8,000, 7,900, right? So price has not gone really high, or price has not gone really low in this particular time period. Probably if you're looking at a weekly chart, probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. For 10 weeks, it just moved sideways. People who would have bought something or invested something at this point, probably like in the 8,000 range, they wouldn't have seen any significant increase or decrease in the value of their assets. Is what I'm trying to say. Is what it means to for a stock or a price to move sideways, right? So if you ignore that, you can understand that a price of any asset can either move upwards or sideways. I mean, upwards or downwards, right? So yeah, along with that, I also wanted to talk about something else. Let me just go and quickly close this volume out. By the way, this is just a volume indicator. It just says that this was, if you look at open, high, low, close of this candlestick, which is 19th September, which was I believe yesterday, the day before, 19th September. And if you take a look at the number that appears alongside wall, right? Basically says volume. In this case, it says 766.96 million. Which means to say that 766 million transactions occur. In this, let's say, Axis Bank. If you look at this, it says 26.269 million, which means to say that 26 million transactions occur between people for this particular share for Axis Bank, right? So that's the volume. So it's also again a relative representation. The candle that's previous is again higher because it also has that X and Y axis chart. Axis is again this time frame that you see, November 1st, 2nd. It's since we're looking at weekly chart, it's November 1st week, and then the week that starts with November 8th, week that starts with November 15th, and all that. So it just basically gives you a volume representation. I was just trying to go and close that out just so you guys can see the screen properly, clear, right? So yeah, so we were talking about how price moves. Price moves either up or downward. And if you see from here to here, price moved upward, and from here to here, prices moved downward. So again, but if you look at what has happened in the middle, so let's say from this point to this point, if you look at what has happened in the middle, prices moved up. Let me just quickly zoom in there. Prices moved up to a certain point, and then came back down again to a certain point again, and then again moved up, came back down a little bit, again moved up, came back down a little bit, moved up, came down, moved up, came down, and it reached a certain peak, right? Before which it started coming down all the time, right? So again, even when price is coming down, it came down and again moved a little bit up, and again came down, moved a little bit up, came down, moved somewhat highly above, and then kept coming down, and then moved again up, and then kept coming down. So if you look at any asset that's traded in the market, it just doesn't go one side all the time, right? So even when Nifty was, this was the COVID, pandemic time crash, when COVID hit us, I think March 2020. So price came crashing down. Only during this, apart from these panic situations, and then high turns in the market due to some news and due to some macroeconomic things going on in the world, price always goes in one direction, which is a generic trend, right? So it's going to be generally up, right? So when price just doesn't go up, it went up from here to here, but again, it came back down a little bit, and then again started going up. Before it went back up again, it came down a little bit. So that's the reason we say it generally goes up, right? Overall, if you see over a certain time period, it has went from this point to this point, which is really upwards, right? So, and also again, when it's coming down from this point to this point, if you say it just doesn't come down straight, it comes down like this, like waves, right? So, and that's the reason say from this point to this point, prices generally come down, right? So it's a general trend that you define. So you just don't say that prices went from here to here, and then you don't consider. Doesn't mean that price has gone down. So we say price has gone up or down based on the general trend, right? So again, talking about trend, there are two trends: uptrend and downtrend. So these are just terminologies when you read charts. But the basic definition of these words is something that we already talked about, right? So if you see that overall, generally, if the price of an asset is moving upwards, just keep moving up, it means to say that the price is in an uptrend. But when it's coming down, same thing. It means to say that the price is in a downtrend, right? Overall, generally, it's coming down. But from this point to this point, generally is going up. And again, let's just go to, from this point to this point, generally is coming down. Again, from this point, it went down. From this point to this point, it came down for quite a bit, for quite a bunch of weeks before it started going up again. From this point to this point, it was a generic overall uptrend. But the point that I'm trying to prove is for people who are here, for learning technical analysis for trading, you guys are one bunch. But for other people who are trying to look at charts, before they have started investing into stock market, investing into the equity asset class, is that if you look at the overall stock market when it started, right, in the 90s, is when we have the data. So, I mean, the concept of stock market started like centuries ago, but we have this data of Sensex and Nifty. But if you look at what the stock market has been like from the 90s, it started like around, what's the low? Low is 279. Let's just say opening 279, and right now we are at 17,000, which means to say that anybody who has invested in the stock market from a long-term perspective has always only been in profit, right? Because I hear this from a lot of people who say that investing in the stock market is like gambling, and then investing in stock market is going to be like a like a lottery thing. So this is what I just wanted to show you guys, right? So if in the long run, if you see, let's say, but there might be cases where your portfolio doesn't go anywhere, doesn't go all that up, doesn't go all that down. Probably like in situations like this, probably during the 2008 financial crisis, the markets worldwide came crashing down. But let's assume you invested somewhere around here, right? And you had to wait 5-6 years, and the price was still at that point, right? But after that, it started going up. But if you were looking at making some good profit or making some good price appreciation in the next 5 years, you would have been still disappointed, because the price at which you bought those assets still were at the same price that you bought them at, right? So, but if you look at 10-year period, right? So let's say 2008 financial crisis, let's say on an average you bought somewhere around here or here, and then 2008 to 2018, right? 18 is somewhere around here. So just look at what's the price appreciation? Close to like 120%. There are cases like this where you get like good profit within the next 4 or 5 years, or probably like you don't get a lot in the next 10-15 years. But overall, the point that I'm trying to convey is that if you're in for the long term, be in it for at least 10 years, right? 7 plus or 10 years, 15 years. Don't think of trying to create profit or wealth from the stock market in just the 5-6 years. 5-6 years is the shortest time you can be in the stock market. But the minimum time horizon I would advise for anyone to hold your stocks or keep investing is at least 10 years, right? So yeah, that's just Nifty, by the way. If you invested in the top 50 stocks always of the Indian stock market. So yeah, that's one thing for people who are looking at just investments as opposed to don't want to trade or something. Just look at this chart, any chart, any bank or any company's chart from a long-term perspective. You definitely see that overall, the market went up, right? So yeah, I guess. But in long term, most food companies will generate revenue and give profits. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yes, just imagine holding ETH and Bitcoin since 2017 to 2027. Forget about holding ETH till 2027. Just imagine if you had bought Ether in 2017. Just imagine the profit that you would have been in the next 4-5 years. Let's go back to. Yeah, I'll just reset this to daily chart. I didn't alert the daily chart, and then just click on save there, then close it. Yeah, just look at ETH. Probably I'll go down to weekly chart, and then we will see 2017 price of 2017, right? So price of 2017, the lowest it has been is $144, right? $144, and then $144, and then just look at if you exited it last year, somewhere mid last year, it reached some sort of peak, $4,000, right? Just imagine making like 40x or something in just 4 years or 5 years time. Now that's the power of investing in good useful asset classes. So similarly, Bitcoin and Ethereum is one such asset class. But yeah, again, as opposed to that, whether you're looking at short-term trades or investing in long-term, um, profit, you definitely need to dedicate some time. And if you're not able to do that, that's the reason we have all this fund management um, or asset management concepts like mutual funds and all those things. But yeah, so yeah, we are 1 hour into the session. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the basic stuff on technical analysis, candlestick charts, and how we can look at a chart and what's the price trends are, and all those things. But yeah, hopefully I can talk more about technical analysis coming streams. But before that, I just wanted to give you guys a clear context on what are we going to do and what are we going to do, week over week with the sessions. So as I said, this week I couldn't do it, but from the next week onwards, we'll have one stream where we talk about the overall market trends and what's going on in the market. So I'll try to mostly keep it towards crypto markets. But if you guys if you guys request it, or if you guys wish to see it, we'll also do an analysis of the Indian stock markets as well. Just look at a couple different charts and then see, what we can analyze and what we can make of the price movements that has been in the last 1 week. Right, so we'll do that. That's going to be one stream or one session per week. Not only just charts, we'll also talk about the happenings in the crypto world, happenings in the Web3, blockchain development stuff, and all those things. But yeah, we're going to have one session for that. But yeah, as I said, I'm getting married in coming November, so there are a lot of things on my schedule for the wedding prep and all that. So that's the reason I'm not able to consistently do 2 streams every week. But whenever I get time, and as I said, this is going to be one stream, and then another stream where we talk about different Web3 technologies and the blockchain space in general. So we'll try to do 2 different streams every week. But yeah, whenever I can't do 2 streams, I'm already apologizing for that. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. But next week, as I said, we're going to start our Discord community, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have Discord, because people who already use Discord, they know that it's the best way to stay in touch with any community members of any community that you're a part of. But we'll be doing that. Besides, we will also be doing a lot of private and exclusive streams for people who are willing to use their Learn tokens and then join some of these private exclusive streams that we're planning to do. But yeah, but besides that, I just hope that you guys got to learn something really good, and it's a starting step, going into technical analysis and learning how to read charts and all that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, probably I'll be doing Q&A sessions when we start our Discord server. We can keep probably like an hour aside every week where we do sessions on Discord as well. It's going to be like a chat-based Q&A and all that. So yeah, I think yeah, this was not a lot of information, I believe, because I could have talked about much more things. I could have talked about trends a little bit more, and what's the skeletal structure of a chart looks like. But yeah, 1 hour into this session, so I just probably spent the first 10 minutes or showing off my the metaverse thing that I was. But besides that, let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we get to do more sessions in the near future on technical analysis and trading cryptocurrency and stocks in general. But until then, I'll see you guys. Yeah, this was amazing, man. I learned a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot, Yash. That would have been crazy if to live with the taxes. Yeah, taxes are something that got recently introduced. The last financial year budget, we got introduced. Indian government introduced crypto into the highest tax bracket there is. The taxing crypto gains at 30% without any offset for any of the losses or any of things of those sort. But yeah, would have been crazy if you held, if you were an early investor. But fun fact, I had mine probably like 0.1 Bitcoin or something, or 0.25 Bitcoin or something back when I was in my first year of college. But then, I did not know where to take it. I did not know what to do with it. But one time I just formatted my hard disk and I lost my access to that private key or the Bitcoin piece of Bitcoin. But only if I had that, and then yeah, it would have been crazy. But GG, man, let's get the Discord running. Yeah, Discord is one of the exciting things that's coming up. So stay tuned. If you guys haven't already followed me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Feel free to DM me on LinkedIn, send me a connection request or whatever. But yeah, if you guys haven't followed me, just hit that follow button. And this was fun today. Yeah, thanks, sir. When did you get your first crypto investment? What was the return? I don't know. I didn't really remember my first time trading in crypto. So since I was already used to trading on stocks, the first time I wanted to trade crypto, I just wanted to try crypto trading with $100, right? And then I don't know, probably I made 15%, or I believe somewhere around 40 or 50%. I don't exactly remember. I think I made 15 or 20% in my first trade, and that was within probably like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, because I used leverage for that trade. I put in my $100 and then took probably like, I don't know, $900 in leverage, and then I traded for $1,000 worth of ether, and then maybe like 15% or something. So just got back like $100. So I doubled the first time I traded. I doubled my money first time I traded crypto. So that was crazy, and that wasn't a good trade at all. Although the outcome of the trade was profit, but yeah, that's something that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't trade on leverage unless and until you're willing to risk that money, the $100 or something. But yeah, but apart from that, I don't really have any returns that I've generated from my crypto investment, because I haven't sold any of my crypto investments. I am investing in crypto and Web3 assets for the long term, right? So yeah, so I haven't sold any, still just holding whatever I've got, and just consistently keep on investing month over month in all these assets and these financial instruments that I believe in. But yeah, which one? The first time I traded, I traded Ether, right? I don't know. I traded either Ether or Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ether. Yeah, I traded Ether first time. But yeah, but as I said, if you're a risk-taking guy, just as for me personally, this is how it works. I invest almost 75% of the money that I want to invest in crypto, because crypto is something that I understand, both financial-wise and technology-wise. So that's the reason I invest in crypto. I know the risks involved, and I know the risk I'm taking. But yeah, in an ideal portfolio, the best advice would be to allocate probably like 10 or 15% at max to a riskier asset like crypto, because it's highly volatile and it's a high risk instrument. So with that being said, we'll be talking more about technical analysis, and we'll be talking more on how you can read charts and all that. I mean, this was just a basic tip of the iceberg, not even tip of the iceberg, but just we just scratched the surface to get started on how you can start reading charts. The first step is to understand what's a candlestick and all that. But besides that, we'll be definitely talking about more of that. We'll also probably try to do analysis sessions where people who are part of the Discord and the group can post your analysis, and then ask someone else from the group verify or validate, or just give comments on what your view or what your analysis looks like. So we'll also be doing something of that sort. But yeah, stay tuned for the Discord server that's coming up next week. And Ishwan says, high risk, high reward situation there. One of my friend got ETH at 1.8, sold it around 5ish. Again at 1.1 recently. Yeah. And are you talking about like 1.8 grand? Talking about like $1,800, and then he sold it at $5,000 or something like that. $1,800. Yeah. Yeah, I think your friend, did really well, because 5ish, around close to $4,800, $4,900. That's the all-time high, and if he has sold at the peak, then I think he'll be rejoicing with all this profit now. But again, bought a about a ton of ETH again at 1.1. Yeah, it's good. Good to see you guys, getting involved in all these investments, especially in the crypto space, because crypto is by far my most favorite thing to invest in. But besides that, as I said, stay tuned for the Discord server that's going to come up next week. Stay tuned for all the advanced and much more things about streaming currencies and cryptocurrencies next week. But until then, I'll see you guys, and you guys take care. And yeah, bye bye. Till then, see you all.